Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judi and you are watching Running So and So, and I want to start by saying the biggest thank you ever, and that is for all the beautiful comments that everybody sent me on my last vlog. I was blown away. I've never had so many comments on a vlog before. It completely was not what I was expecting, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Usually I like to reply to the comments individually, but with there being so many, this is my big thank you. Just thank you so much. I can confirm, here he is, little George is now fine. He's at home, he's feeding well, hopefully he's gaining weight. He's being weighed this week. So it was a very traumatic birth. Poor Hannah has been put through the mill, but she too is on the mend. So thank you so very, very much for all your love and your concern. It is so very much appreciated by all of us. So what have I been up to? Obviously, I have been completely wrapped up in grandmahood, but I don't want to linger on that because that's just one little part of my life. I have just been doing and enjoying. I have been very busy in my garden, and I'm just going to put a little shot in here, a little quick spin around the garden, showing you how the plants are doing and how everything is looking. I am nearly ready to plant out some of those lovely little seedlings, and I'm hoping if we get a bit of warm rain this week. I know it's a contradiction in terms, but in the summer the rain does seem to be warmer, and warm rain is good to plant seedlings out in. So I will be hopefully starting to plant those out. And as much as I adore sewing in my life, there are other things that I do. So I'm really sorry if videos don't come out as often as other people. It's because I am chief cook and bottle washer in the house. I do everything. So my apologies if the videos don't come out as quickly as other people's do. Also, I want to say a huge apology if you ever think I'm looking to the side. Sometimes I have it on my camera. So if this is my camera next to me here, and this was my camera, to the side is a little screen, and sometimes it's essential to look in the little screen because it lets you know what people are saying, but it does take your eyes away from here. It takes your eyes to the side that the screen is on. Well, I'm doing it backwards so it'll be on this side, and I am really sorry about that. I am fully aware that my last video I had lots of eyes to the wrong side, and that was because I was tired. I'd been ferrying backwards and forwards to the hospital. I know it's no excuse, but I wanted to do my unboxing. So let's start with what I am wearing. So I'm just going to push my chair out because I am so pleased with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing something I made back in 2018 when I went to Guthrie and Garney on one of their sewing retreats. So here we go. I am wearing a lovely Ogden Cami in the beautiful bottle green Stardust double gauze by Atelier Brunette, but gets better. I'm just going to tip the camera down. Look at me wearing my moss skirt. I love the moss skirt. It's by Grey 9 Studio, and that takes me neatly on to what I'm going to talk about today. I'm back with you now. I just had to have a little pause there because my lovely next door neighbour has got a motorbike, and he was just going out in it. It's a beautiful motorbike. It's got a lovely purring sound when the engine goes, and it's really lovely. So I thought I'd pop on today with a little bit of a catch-up. So I've already told you a little bit of what I've been doing. You'll be pleased to know that the running has gone back into Running So and So. Just take a look at this. This is me having a little run. Not a very long bit of footage, but I am halfway through week 2. I am doing it regularly. I'm perhaps not running as often as they say. They say you should leave a day between each run. I'm actually giving myself 2 days at the moment. Occasionally I might give myself 1 day. So the reason I'm actually taking my time with the running is obviously the asthma is getting more under control, but I've been given some breathing exercises, and it's really important when you're running that you get a good breathing pattern. So I'm allowing myself to get into the rhythm of the breathing pattern, and I have been very fortunate that I've had an appointment to see a respiratory physiotherapist, and they're working on exercises to ensure that I'm breathing from my diaphragm, not just through my mouth, and I'm having to breathe more through my nose, which is daft for somebody like me because I play the oboe, and you have to breathe from the diaphragm for that. So I'm having to think, you're playing the oboe all the time, Judi, get on with it. But I thought you might like to know my plans for my sewing for the next few months, because As you all know, I'm off to see the lovely Lorianne again over in Oregon, which will be absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to go. She has a new quilting machine, and I know she's bursting with excitement to show me everything about this new quilting machine, which I understand is due to land with her this week. So we are guaranteed to have a fantastic time playing with that. And then I cannot wait to see her beautiful father again. He is 91 and he is an inspiration. My own father-in-law is now 92. And it's just lovely to see people striving to get the most out of life for as long as they possibly can. And we really do feel blessed that both Lorianne's dad and David's dad are doing so very, very well. David's mum is still alive as well, and she's 90, she'll be 91 this year. So my plans for the next few months, I've got quite a few. Some of them will cross over with our lovely new challenge, Sew 7 Together, and I will come to that at the very end of this vlog. So the first thing I desperately want to make, and I did mention it in a video before, is the wonderful moss skirt. Now I am glancing to the side, I'll be back in a minute. Is the wonderful moss skirt by Grain Line Studio. It is such a simple skirt. Now I am making the slightly longer one, and I am now fitting into this pattern which I made in 2018, and I have some more wonderful fabric for it. This fabric is simply stunning. It's now being washed and it has a lovely soft feel to it. And I'm not quite certain if these are flower buds on it or whether they're a bit of a fruit. So it could cross over to So Fruity. You could think it's a bit of a berry style fabric. Oh, it is! It is a fruity fabric. I might have to keep this one till June. But these plans I'm wanting to tell you about are going to take me over the next 3 months. I may add to them, but these are the items that I desperately want to get made because it's essential that I have some new clothes that fit me. This is Vines by Nerida Hansen, and I bought it from Arya at Beyond the Pink Door. It is a cotton canvas, and the moss skirt makes beautifully out of a cotton canvas. Yes, the moss skirt is a beautiful make, and it's with having cotton canvas, it is a little bit more structured. I don't like talking about the size that I am now making because I don't want to upset anybody. But what I do is I look at the back of the pattern, at the waist measurement on the back of the pattern here, and I look at the waist measurement and check my own waist measurement against it. Now, I'm going to tell you now I fall between a 2 and a 4 for the actual waist measurement for this one. And for the hips, I am bang on a 4. So I will be making a 4. I haven't looked at the finished measurements, but the finished measurements are giving me a slightly bigger waist, so I do need to go for the 2, otherwise it's going to be too big at the waist. The finished measurement for the size 2 is 30, and on the hips it's still 37, and it's really important that I tell a lie. For the 4 it is 38. So I will be making, and I think that's the size I made before. Whatever size is cut out on this pattern is the size I'm going to make again. Let's have a little look and see, because I did cut it, I didn't trace it. It is actually one of my ultra favourite patterns, this, and I was so upset when I grew out of it. And to be able to wear it again makes me feel fantastic. Oh, I made a 6. So I may make the 6 again, but looking at my actual body measurements compared to the skirt, I may have to take it in. So I think it would be a good move to make the 6 in hindsight, knowing that the one I've got on fits me really nicely. I think I will stick with that one. I'm just pulling out the pattern bits at the bottom here. I don't know what you are all like when you do patterns, but when I've got a paper pattern that I've cut, I always try and fold them up and put them inside the pattern envelope, like pattern instructions like that, and then slip them back into the envelope. Now, I have been doing a Ruan and taking her advice and putting everything in project wallets. I've run out of project wallets, so they'll go over there. The next thing I want to make is the Elle Jumpsuit by Atelier Jupe Patterns. I will put all the details of the patterns in the description box below. Now, I was very fortunate last year and I went to a retreat weekend at Andrea's original shop over in Ireland, and I felt incredibly blessed and very honoured to be there. It was an exceptionally special weekend, and it was very, it's hard to say. When you're meeting sewists from other areas of the world, it is an incredibly unique moment, and you meet their individual personalities, and everyone has something incredibly special in their personalities and something wonderful, and you can harbour the wonderfulness, if that's a word, from each of these people that you meet. And while I was there, I bought this beautiful Elle Jumpsuit linen from the store, and you may very well have seen this last year, but this is a must because I need a jumpsuit within my size range. Now, I haven't looked at the Elle Jumpsuit pattern yet to see which size I fall into, and I won't do that now until such time as I am about to make the garment. I'm also making t-shirts. Making t-shirts as if they're going out of fashion, and I'm about to make a Naya t-shirt by Tammy Handmade, and I have got a beautiful, simple four-way stretch. Is it four-way? No, I have this beautiful two-way stretch jersey. I have no idea where I got it from. And if you've not seen the Naya t-shirt, she says fiddling with the paperwork underneath. It is an incredibly simple pattern. And our lovely Tamlin from Sewn on the Time was one of the testers. And this is one of the, how to describe it? I'm trying to use different descriptive words. One of the individual markers for Tammy Handmade. She does a beautiful sheet with all the pattern testers, and Tamlin is just here at the very best, Tamlin. Just there. And seeing the t-shirt made as part of the pattern, it fills you with a sense of excitement and wanting to get on and make it as soon as possible. Now, I've also made a t-shirt this week, and I'm going to slip it on over the top of my top. It is a very simple t-shirt, and it is in a four-way stretch fabric that I bought last year. It's going to seem very strange putting it on over the top of this, but I'm not going to take my bra off. This is the Skyline t-shirt by Sew House 7. And I was very uncertain about making this because it is quite a close-fitting t-shirt, but I absolutely love it. This is my mock-up t-shirt, and I didn't make it in my size. I made it in a size bigger because of the amount of negative ease in the pattern. So I made this in a size, I made it in a size 6. I have discovered how to print in Adobe Layers. I had a bit of help from Rachel, a little bit of help from a YouTube video, but I'm printing in layers. Now this is the Skyline Tee by Sew House 7. It's one of the new patterns that came out late last year, around the same time as the Moon Booties pattern came out. And what I've done is an amalgamation of this neckline, the longer length, and the slightly balloon sleeve, but in the shorter length. And that's one of the reasons I adore Peggy's patterns. They are filled with little tricks and tips and possibilities that make them a marvellous pattern to attempt, because you can personalise it to the way you want that pattern to be. So I adore you all know I adore Peggy's patterns. There's no point even denying it. I love a Sew House 7 pattern. And I have got another one of these t-shirts cut out. Whether it works is another matter altogether, because I've done it in a one-way stretch, and she does say you need a two-way stretch. The fabric wasn't expensive. I managed to get the two t-shirts out, the same piece of fabric, and I thought, let's give it a go, because I've got another piece of jersey which would make a beautiful t-shirt, but it's only got a one-way stretch, so I thought, let's give it a go on that and see what happens. I have two more patterns I want to show you, and these patterns are on the hit list for making pretty quickly. The first is a pattern that I bought 2 years ago when I was over in Oregon visiting L'Oreal, and it is to use. It is just beautiful. It shines summer through it. It's just such a stunningly summery fabric. It is a cotton lawn, and I bought it from a shop called Josephine's Dry Goods. And I want to make the Mississippi Avenue dress. And it will be not the full length one. I'd like to try and get C, which is slightly longer than B. I'll show you the line drawings on the back. So I'd like to try and do the longer one, but if necessary we'll do the middle one and try and catch it in between. It's a lovely, simple summer dress with floaty sleeves, but it's got a full back, so it will protect the back of your neck, as you can see on the picture here. Can you see? You can see how the neckline comes up at the back. And if I show you this line drawing here, you can see how tall the neck is. And sometimes if you're out and about in the sun, you can actually catch the sun on the back of you, below your neck, on your back, and the area can get burnt. And I thought, that is a fantastic pattern to have to try and protect your neck. So that's one that I want to do. And then of course there's the one that we got for the March Think Pink boxes, which is stunning Nerida Hansen fabric, and I have got green and coral, which is very me. Look, how me is that? And I am going to make the Montevilla dress by Sew House 7. I don't want to make the long version, I don't want to make the midi version. So I'm actually going to lengthen the mini version and create a sort of midi version for myself. And I should have enough fabric to do that. Now those are the patterns that I am doing at the moment, and I want to tell you how I'm tackling them. Because what I like to do is to have a crazy cutting out session. So over on my island at the moment, and I am going to twist the camera around so you can see it. Can you see on my kitchen island at the moment? A pair of scissors and some white. Let me come over here. There you go. Sellotape, scissors. What I'm actually doing is prepping the pattern, and when I've got that pattern prepped and the pieces separated, I'm going to cut that dress out, and then I will be putting it into here. The other thing I'm doing is to recording everything I make in here, so I know which patterns I've made over the weeks and I've got them ready for sewing. I'm hoping that later in this week I can start a huge sewing session. I'm one of these people that likes to have everything ready so that I can just sew. Also this week I have another vlog to record for you for the Sew 7 Together challenge. We are inviting you to sew any Sew House 7 pattern. We have 2 patterns that have a code with them at Sew House 7, and the code is Sew 7 Together. And I am going to see you again later in this week for the next Sew 7 Together video, which will be out at 7 p.m. in the evening on the 17th of May. Do you get what we're doing there? Everything's got a 7 in it, and that one's down to Sam, so well done Sam, I absolutely love that. So for now, thank you so... Oh, I've got one more thing to show you. One more thing. I made up my sparkly fabric from Manjit at Lucky Fashions, and I whizzed up a Marlowe cardigan to wear to the gathering. I loved the gathering. We had an absolutely beautiful evening. It was so special being able to sit around and talk to the friends I've made through the sewing community. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that spoke to me. I cannot remember all your names. I know that there was, is it Dawn Likes Sewing or Dawn Jane Likes Sewing? And the gorgeous Marjorie, who I met at Guthrie and Garney. The lovely Nadia from Stitch and Style Like Nadia. I chatted to some of the ladies from Sew Different Patterns, because Laura from Sew Different Patterns was wearing this dress here. I'll put a picture of it just in here and the name down below. I'm desperate to make that dress. And I'd never seen it being worn. And now I've seen it being worn, I just have to make it. And I think I might use the William Morris fabric that I bought at the Stitch Festival. I met Christine from Gemini Stitches, who is just a massive bundle of fun. And Christine, you blew me off my feet with your wonderful comments. They melted my heart and made me feel exceptionally special for the evening. So thank you so very much, my lovely. So if you like what you've seen, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm getting closer to 4,000 subscribers. It would be quite nice to get to that number. I never talk about my subscriber level, but there you go. I have done. When I talk to you later in the week about the patterns I'm making for the Sew 7 Together Challenge for Sew House 7, I will tell you the size I've chosen to make and how I've arrived at that decision, which is something I don't normally do, but on this one occasion, I will do that for you. So for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later in the week. Take care.